Let me ask you something and answer honestly in your head. Have you ever had to correct someone at work and thought, I need to be careful how I say this or this is going to blow up? So you slow down, you soften your tone, you choose your words like you're diffusing a bomb. And then afterwards you think, okay, that went fine. But a week later, the behavior is still there. If that's you, you're not weak. You're not bad at leadership. You've just been trained to use HR scripts that sanitize accountability. But before we start, let me clear something up because I hear this concern all the time. A lot of leaders think if I get more direct, HR is going to be a problem. That fear makes sense, but it's based on a lie. Discipline does not cause HR issues. Messy leadership does. HR problems don't happen because leaders are clear. They happen because leaders get emotional, inconsistent, and vague. That's when things start to spiral. Let me give you an example. When a leader says, I'm frustrated and this keeps bothering me, that's emotional and that's personal. That's easy to challenge. But when a leader says, this behavior has happened 3 times this month and it needs to stop, that's factual, that's calm, and that's clean. HR prefers the second one every time. The discipline leader doesn't teach you to be harsh. It teaches you to be clear. Clear about behavior, clear about expectations, and clear about follow through. No tone issues, no personal attacks, and no guessing. And here's the part people miss. When expectations are clear, people complain less, not more, because there's nothing to argue with. So no discipline doesn't create HR havoc, it prevents it. Because when you remove emotion and stick to facts, there's nothing to escalate. That's exactly why I created the Discipline Leader, to help you correct behavior, protect yourself, and lead without fear. You don't need softer words, you need clear standards. And clarity is always HR safe. Now, HR scripts sounds professional, they sound safe, and they sound polite. But polite doesn't change behaviors. Sanitized accountability usually sounds like this. Let's talk about expectations. I just want to check in with you. How are you feeling about your workload? I don't want this to make you feel like I'm criticizing you. None of these are bad sentences, but here's the problem. They avoid naming the behavior. And when behavior isn't named, it can't be corrected. Now, real life example. An employee of mine keeps showing up late. I used to use, I want to understand what's going on for you in the mornings. What the employee heard, this isn't that serious. What actually happens, they keep showing up late. Because no one said being late is the problem. Now, HR scripts were not designed to make you an effective leader. They were designed to protect the company, reduce legal risks, and keep conversations neutral. That's it. They were not designed to build authority, change behaviors, and reduce emotional labor that you feel. So when leaders rely on HR language, they end up doing 3 things: taking around the problem, absorbing the emotional fallout, and taking responsibility for behavior they didn't even create. That's why leadership feels exhausting, not because people are too sensitive, but because accountability has been watered down. Now, for example, if an employee misses deadlines repeatedly, the HR approach to it would be, let's talk about capacity and see what support that you need. Leader leaves feeling responsible. Employee leaves thinking, I must be overwhelmed, not underperforming. Nothing changes. Now, the truth of the hidden cost of using these languages, when accountability is softened, 4 things happen. Good employees get frustrated, poor performers stay comfortable, and leaders burn out. Leaders start blaming themselves. They think, I didn't say it right. I should have been more nicer. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. That's all lies. The truth is, you were never taught how to correct the behavior without carrying emotions. Let me give you another one. A leader avoids addressing attitude issues. Instead says, Let me know if something's bothering you. The employee continues being passive aggressive, and then the team morale drops. Leader ends up doing damage, control again. Now let's talk about what real accountability looks like. Real accountability is not mean. It's not aggressive, and it's not emotional. It's clear. So why this feeling feels so uncomfortable but still works? This approach feels uncomfortable at first because you're used to managing feelings. You've been trained to soften everything, and you fear that being seen as too harsh is not good for your reputation. But here's the truth. Clarity feels harsh to people who are used to comfort. That doesn't make you wrong. It makes you effective. And once the behavior changes, the emotions calms down, not the other way around. Exactly why I created the Discipline Leader course. Not to teach you how to be nicer, not to give you more scripts to avoid the problem, but to teach you how to correct behavior without triggering defensiveness, how to stop absorbing emotional labor, how to lead with authority and calm, how to make accountability stick, and also inside the course, you'll learn a discipline-first system that replaces HR scripts with clarity, structure, and follow-through. If you're tired of talking in circles, if you're tired of managing feelings instead of performance, and if you're tired of being exhausted by leadership, the Discipline Leader is for you. The link is in the description. Stop sanitizing accountability. Start leading with discipline. See you guys next time on Leadership Elevation.